Hello everyone, I'm Carol Cass, and today I'm going to be bringing you another book review. And today's book is a romance novel called The Way He Looks at Me by Juliana Mae, and there's a picture of the cover for all of y'all to see. And so before I get started with my review, I just want to say that I voluntarily reviewed this book, and as y'all know, my reviews are 100% honest. I tell it like it is with what I like and what I don't. And so with that said, let's get down to discussing The Way He Looks at Me. The main character in the book is Annie. She's a young teenage girl. She just turned 18, and she moves with her family out to California. Her mother wants to try to make it into the music business, and so while Annie's out there, she makes friends with an old family friend named Dathan, and Dathan's a music producer, and he has a friend named Jay, and so she becomes close to them, becomes best friends with them. And so it's through Dathan that Annie, she gets to meet two musicians, Colt and Hayden. And so throughout the novel, she becomes closer to Colt and Hayden, and she loves both of them, but yet she finds it difficult to make a decision. And so throughout the novel, it explores her relationships with both the Colt and Hayden, of course, Dathan also. And so Annie, how she's spending time with the boy, she gets to learn more about him and herself, and yet she finds it difficult to choose which boy she likes the best. And so overall, it's a good story. I mean, the premise is good, but I did find some critiques about it. My main critique is I thought it was maybe a little bit too fast paced. I would have loved it if it was slow down a little bit. I just felt like everything happened so fast, because right after she moves to California, her and Dave go to the movie premiere, and all of a sudden she meets the two guys and they fall in love with her and want to date her. So I would have loved if it was maybe went a little bit slower. That way it had time to develop her relationships with both Colt and Hayden. So I think if it had slowed down a little bit, taken its time, I would have gotten into it more, and I would have been more invested into the relationships, because even though I liked all the characters, sometimes throughout the book there are relationships with Annie and the boys that kind of seemed forced and not natural, so I would have loved a little bit more built up into that. But aside from that, I overall enjoyed the story, and I can't wait to read more from the author Juliana Mae and see what else she can come up with. And I also heard she has a sequel to the book, which I'm curious to read. So I definitely think she has a long future ahead of her in writing romance, and like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what else she can come up with. And so that concludes my review today. Until then, this is Carol Casta signing off.